Good afternoon, Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, distinguished guests, fellow councillors and guests. Welcome to the annual meeting of Monmouthshire County Council. Item 1 on the agenda is apologies for absence. Do we have any apologies, please? No record of apologies? Oh, sorry. Lisa? Sorry, Lisa, yep. Councillor Dimmock. Thank you, Councillor. Okay. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Any declarations of interest? Yep. Item 3. The next item on the agenda is the election of the new chair of the council for the civic year 2024 to 2025. Before I call on for nominations, I wish to address the council. Prepared a few words that I shall read. So, Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, distinguished guests, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, and those of you who may be watching online, Croeson Gunness, a warm welcome to you all. Let me start by saying that it's been a real honour to represent our county in the role of Chair of Monmouthshire County Council. The role of Chair has been a busy but pleasurable one, attending civic events, functions and promoting our wonderful county at every opportunity. I'm grateful for those who have sat alongside me. Chief Exec, Paul, I think you're online. Our Monitoring Officer, James. Our Vice Chair, Sue, along with all our other Chief Officers who have offered me their calm and informed support. Thank you. My thanks also to my chaplain, Reverend Sally, who unfortunately is not able to join us today. I will miss our wonderful chats before full council. Thank you to the Democratic Services team for your support to make sure any last-minute technical glitches are taken care of and that everything runs smoothly. And of course to Linda and Julia in the office for their tireless contributions and willingness to support me at all times. Over the year, I've had the pleasure of attending over 70 events, which I won't list, but I would like to mention a few in particular. I attended both the Bridges Centre Volunteer Awards and also the Gavo MHA Volunteer Awards. It is such an inspiration to hear first-handed the amazing work volunteers across Monmouthshire do for our communities and get the opportunity to pay tribute to them for the countless hours they willingly give for the benefit of others, our true unsung heroes. Christmas was a busy time with so many Christmas events. It was wonderful to watch our excited and very talented young primary school students perform before their parents in their school nativity plays. A real credit to their teachers in the way they helped and encouraged each other when lines were forgotten or cues missed. The kindness they showed each other was truly heartwarming. In January, I was privileged to attend 2 very moving Holocaust memorial services, one in Cardiff and one in Monmouth, where I heard a very powerful testimony from John Hajdu, MBE, a survivor of the Holocaust, and Isam Ajieb, who survived the genocide in Darfur. Truly moving. On a lighter note, it has been an absolute joy to be entertained at 4 Gwent music concerts. These young musicians have displayed so much talent and confidence in their performances, and I look forward to seeing their progress in the years to come. A highlight of each month for me has been the Citizens' Ceremony here at the Registry Office. It's been my pleasure to have welcomed over 30 new citizens to our country. They have settled here from a variety of countries from around the world, including India, Africa, Australia, Pakistan, America, Spain, Italy, Romania, and Japan, to name a few. And all of them have decided to call our beautiful county of Monmouthshire their home. I've also particularly enjoyed our own Monmouthshire County Council long service recognition events. It has been a delight to hear the individual stories from our amazing loyal staff who have clearly stood the test of time. I'm sure you will all recall the magnificent deforestation presentation by our Year 7 pupils from Monmouth Comprehensive School. and the well-deserved standing ovation they received here from us all in the chamber. There have been so many events, exhibition launches, Remembrance Day services, the first Ask Pride event, a pantomime, the Commonwealth Day celebration, and numerous civic services. Too many to list. After all these fantastic events, it was truly wonderful to finish the year with a visit to the Royal Garden Tea Party in Buckingham Palace only last week. It was a great honour to receive this invitation and something Sarah and I had looked forward to throughout the year. We had a marvellous day, the sun shone, we chatted to many of the guests, enjoyed tea, cake and finger sandwiches, and I'm pleased to report that the King looked extremely well and healthy. We thoroughly enjoyed our afternoon, definitely a story we will be telling our grandchildren in years to come. As you know, Sarah and I chose St David's Hospice Care as our charity. They offered so much care and support for my father in his battle against Parkinson's disease. Not only in his visits to the day centre in Malpas, but also the home visits and the overnight nurses they provided that offered Mum, his main carer, some respite. St David's Hospice Care touched the lives of so many of our residents, and choosing them as our charity, we hope, in a small way, will help them to continue their good work here in Monmouthshire and in Gwent. Thanks so much to those of you who have offered your support and donated through our Just Giving page online. The total amount we raised is £4,956. If you'd like to help bring this total to over the 5,000 mark, please visit the Just Giving website and search for Chair of Monmouthshire. I would like to thank my family, especially my wonderful wife, and Consort Sarah for supporting me in my years as Chair. My mum, who is here as well, who has also enjoyed sharing the role of Consort. I would like to give a special mention to those who, past and present, have helped mould who I am today. My dad, my uncles, members and friends of the Welsh Chapel community in London, where I grew up, where my parents were elders. They instilled in me the sense of community and willingness to always help one another, along with a strong belief in honesty and integrity. As I have the floor, I would like to take this opportunity to clarify once and for all. I have not formed a coalition with the Labour Party or formed any deal in exchange for my vote. I stood as an independent candidate. My vote is my own. Last year, my fellow councillor Ian Chandler and myself formed our own Green independent group as we felt this more closely aligned our own green ethical values. We discussed matters together. However, I would like to make it clear again that I make my own decisions independently and judge each issue on its own merits, and with a commitment to the 847 local residents that chose me to represent them, many of whom I regard as friends. I come from a small village in Carmarthenshire, where both my grandfathers started their working lives in the coal mines. In the late 60s, my parents left our village with my brother and I to make an alternative life for us in London. My grandparents' lifestyles were very different to mine. However, despite these differences, my values very closely align with theirs. A work-hard ethic, fairness, kindness, equality, integrity, honesty, community, and a willingness to always help one another. These are the values that have led me to where I am today, and ones that will guide me into the future. As local politicians, it is vital that we show respect and consideration for others and show strength in our values and integrity. As an independent councillor, I've always tried to broker the middle ground. To finish, I would like to say I've thoroughly enjoyed my year as the Chair of Monmouthshire County Council. Accepting the position was not an easy decision to make, however, one that I'm pleased that I accepted. Along with the civic duties, the role does, of course, entail chairing the chamber meetings, and I'm grateful to you all for your kindness you have shown me over the past year. I hope you will agree that I've conducted myself honourably and impartially. Councillor Eason, Councillor Watts, thank you for taking it easy on me with your calls for points of order. I look forward to returning to my seat in the council chamber. You get a very different experience up here. I would like to offer my congratulations to the incoming chair and vice chair, and would like to wish them the best for the year ahead. Thank you all. Diolch yn fawr chi gyd. Thank you.
Chair, may I address the chamber?
Of course you may.
Oh, we're both grammatically correct. Isn't that wonderful? There's a hint of sadness for me, as well as joy that we can keep the continuity of the council, because over the last year, Marion has not only been a wonderful representative for Monmouthshire, he's also become a friend. And of course that friendship will continue. But the friendship was built on my seeing Marion in action as our chair. The values that we hold dear in Monmouthshire, of kindness, of generosity, of working together in partnership, of community, Marion has always epitomised. He could not have been a better representative to us everywhere he went, even to places I would never go. And that is what we want from our chair. Someone in our life, in Monmouthshire, can show the best of us and can bring out the best of us by the ways that they interact. And you have done a fantastic job. Whenever I've been with you, the warmth with which you are met with and the warmth that you give back is such a joy to behold. It does actually bring light into the rooms that you are in. Chairing the chamber, all I can say is thank goodness I will never be in that position, because we're a robust lot, aren't we? Aren't we, councillors? And it's been a robust and challenging year for all sorts of reasons. And yet you never lost your temper. You always remained generous, even-handed, and you always made sure that people got a right to speak. And that too is a sign of the kind of chair that we want, because everybody should have a voice. And here we represent many voices, and those many voices we represent need to be heard. And you did allow that to happen, Marion. So on behalf of the whole chamber, I would like to say thank you very much. We won't be sealing any kind of secret pact behind the bicycle sheds after this in any way whatsoever, but I hope we can meet for a cuppa now and again and enjoy your reign back on the back benches. Thank you very much, Marion.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, Lord Lieutenants, High Sheriff, Town Mayors, other distinguished guests, councillors, officers. Can I start by thanking Councillor Howells for the way in which he has undertaken his role over the past year, for the commitment that you've shown to the role. You've chaired our full council meetings over the past 12 months, and I think even on occasion when our debates have maybe got a little bit spicy, you have continued to chair them in a calm, generous way and with good humour, always with a smile on your face, and we've always appreciated the way in which you've done that. In transacting the business of the council, you've joined numerous group leaders meetings where we've discussed matters. We've been able to be candid with each other, and I've really appreciated the fact that you have that we've been able to have those open discussions. It's clearly been a really busy year all over the county of events for you and Sarah, and you've represented the county at those wide range of events that you cited in your speech with great dignity. And of course it's a fantastic privilege, isn't it, to serve as chair, and I know that you've borne the responsibility of that role and you've taken it very seriously. I hope that it's been a memorable year for you, and that in the years ahead you will treasure the experiences that you've had in the last 12 months, perhaps, as you say, culminating in that visit to Buckingham Palace last year, and last week. And I know also how much you've enjoyed the school visits that you've undertaken, which again is a really rewarding part of the role. I know that you've put a tremendous amount of effort into your fundraising efforts, and to be just shy of £5,000, I think, is an incredible achievement, and for such a good cause as well. And I'd like to put on record the gratitude of my group for the efforts that you've put into fundraising, and also to all of those people who've supported St David's Hospice. I know it's a charity close to the hearts of many, and a number of us in this chamber will have seen the incredible work that they do, caring not just for individuals who are terminally ill, but also their families, and helping them to come to terms with the pain and grief of seeing a loved one receive palliative care. Unusually, you've been a chain bearer for 2 years on the trot, because, of course, in your first year as a county councillor, you were also the mayor of Usk. So I think in terms of your experience of cutting ribbons and unveiling plaques, you must be giving the late Duke of Edinburgh a run for his money in terms of experience in that role. I was wondering whether we should have a whip brand to buy you a gold medallion or something, so when you take that chain off later today, you don't feel naked without a chain round your neck. But perhaps that's something we should consider. But on behalf of the Conservative groups, thank you for what you've done over the past year. We're really grateful for your efforts, both you and Sarah, and we wish you very well for the future. Thank you very much.
Councillor Taylor, you'd like to say?
Thank you very much, Chair. On behalf of the Independent Group, Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff and distinguished guests, can I thank you and congratulate you on your term of office as Chair of this Council. And I also would like to thank you for the generosity of spirit that you've demonstrated during our debate. As Councillor John says, some of them have been fairly robust, but I think as we've come to know you, you've always done that with generosity and always with a smile, it has to be said. Quite a difficult thing to do sometimes, I should think. I think that for me, you've presided over a number of meetings which have been particularly challenging, and I think quite possibly, one of the longest meetings that this council has ever had. Indeed, certainly, probably from me, in my 12-year tenure, the second longest meeting I've ever attended, second only to the meeting where we agreed the last local development plan. So that's certainly something to kind of distinguish your tenure, Chair. Another thing, and I think you mentioned this, I don't think I've heard quite as many points of order in this chamber as during your civic year. That's another thing that that I think we'll recall. And finally, I think it's probably, we saw that, how well you represented the council at the garden party last week. And it's good to hear you say that the King looked particularly well. And I'm sure that those cakes and sandwiches you mentioned passed muster. So on behalf of the Independent Group, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. And I'd just add my words. On the agenda of every meeting that we hold is written the 5 values that our council strives to live up to: openness, fairness, flexibility, teamwork, and kindness. And I can think of no one else in this chamber who embodies those 5 values more than Councillor Howells. And there are many here who could do well to follow his example, perhaps. Because while presiding in this chamber, Councillor Howells has demonstrated both flexibility but also fairness in chairing our debates. And frankly, I'm disappointed, but he's not even shown me any special favours when I've overrun my allotted time for speeches. But as a representative of our council, of our county, in fact, in the many civic functions that he attends, Councillor Howells has been dignified, but still able to let his natural warmth and kindness shine through. And then, even outside of his official duties, as Councillor Brocklesby highlighted, Marion lives those ideals. Because when I've walked with him around the town of Usk, I was in awe of how warmly he greeted people by name and how those greetings were so warmly reciprocated. He had a kind word for everybody, whether they're residents in his ward, whether they're business owners in his ward, or council staff that were working in the hub. Councillor Marion Howells is a good man with strong values, someone that I've come to regard not just as a colleague but as a friend. So I thank him for how he's handled his responsibilities of being chair of the council over the past year, and I wish him well as he rejoins these seats facing forward. Thank you, Marion.
Oh, well, thank you very much for all those very kind words. It's very. I just carry on my life as I am, so it's very nice to hear those words. Thank you very much indeed. On with council business. Next item is item 5. I now call for nominations for the office of Chair of the County Council for the civic year 2024-2025.
Chair, I nominate Councillor McConnell.
Chair, I would like to second Councillor McConnell.
Are there any further nominations? Thank you. As there are no further nominations, Mayor, please have your votes for Councillor Sue McConnell.
Chair, I can't connect to the internet.
Right.
I can't connect to the internet.
Do we take a... Do you everyone else having any difficulty? Councillor Lucas, you're having trouble as well? Councillor Easton and Councillor Lucas, I'm happy to take your votes manually if you like. We're now at 32 in favour of Sue, so that's passed anyway. So, so I haven't got my computer, so I'm going to vote as well. So there we are. Carried? Yeah, carried. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. I now invite County Councillor Sue McConnell to read and sign the Declaration of Acceptance of Office. Do you need to sign this as well?
I, Sue McConnell, having been elected to the office of Chair of Monmouthshire County Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code for the time being as to the conduct which is expected of members of Monmouthshire County Council and which may be revised from time to time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
take a photo? Or?
Just stand.
Yeah, just take a photo.
Well done. Go through. Yes,
Great.
Got out the flowers.
Who are these? These for you? Sorry?
A little bit lower. Not as tall as you.
Yeah. Great. Yep. Okay.
I'm going to sit, I think. Thank you. Thank you, fellow members. Can you hear me? Thank you, fellow members, for giving me the honour to be your chair for the coming year. I would like to introduce my consort and friend, Roger Harris. Roger. Roger, thank you for your support as my consort during my time as Vice Chair this last year. We've got the big gig now. My chaplain will be the Reverend Sally Ingle-Gillis, who has kindly agreed to continue in this role for another year. But sadly, as you've heard, she's unable to be with us today, but she's well known to you all. My chosen charity for this coming year is Cyffenol, which last year celebrated 45 years of working in Gwent. Cyffenol Women's Aid specialises in supporting women and girls who have experienced any form of violence against women, domestic abuse and/or sexual violence. Their vision is that everyone is empowered to flourish in life, free from domestic abuse and sexual violence. Their mission is to deliver across Gwent a range of person-led and trauma-informed services to any person, particularly women or children, who have experienced any form of violence against women, domestic abuse and sexual violence, regardless of their needs and in the multiple disadvantages that they face. My work as a counsellor over 2 years, let alone 40-odd years in the criminal justice system, tell me that sadly the need for this work is as urgent and as profound as ever. Cyffenol is Welsh for holistic, and the care and even joy they bring to this work is inspiring. I hope you join with me in supporting them and raising awareness, so thank you in advance. I would now like to present Councillor Myrian Howells with his past chair's badge.
Thank you very much. You'll wear it with pride. Thank you.
Isn't it? Item 4 on the agenda. I now call for nominations for the office of Vice Chair of the County Council for the civic year 2024 to 2025.
Strong.
And is there a seconder?
I second Councillor Peter Strong.
Thank you, Thank you to Councillor Brocklesby. Are there any further nominations? As there are no further nominations, may I please have your votes for Councillor Peter Strong? That's carried. Congratulations, Councillor Strong. I now invite Councillor Strong to read and sign the Declaration of Acceptance of Office.
I, Peter Strong, having been elected to the office of Vice Chair of Monmouthshire County Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code for the time being as to the conduct which is expected of members of Monmouthshire County Council and which may be revised from time to time. I have to sign this, yeah. You can be a pen. Cheers, just yeah. There we are, yeah. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers, thank you. Thank you. All right. I'll say a few words. Thank you, everybody. I'd say now is not the best time to realise you've just lost a button on your jacket. I think I must have been pushing me up, trying to do it up during the buffet. I sincerely thank you for choosing me as your vice chair. And I'm not going to make a long speech. I'd just like to note with great pleasure that my majority this afternoon was greater than the one I received in Roggett when I was elected 2 years ago. But it is truly an honour to serve this wonderful county as vice chair of the county. Without further ado, I'd like to invite my consort. Who shall I choose? Jumping the gun at the back there. Invite my consort, Councillor Jackie Strong, to join me at the front of the dais, please.
I now invite the past Chair's consort, Mrs. Sarah Howells, to present the consort's chain of office to my consort, Mr. Roger Harris.
There you go. No pressure.
I now invite my consort, Mr. Roger Harris, to present the past Chair's consort, Mrs. Sarah Howells, with the past consort's pendant, together with a bouquet of flowers.
Fantastic. Nice and tall. Thank you.
Don't sit down, Roger. I now invite my consort, Mr. Roger Harris, to present the Vice Chair's consort, Councillor Jackie Strong, with her chain of office, together with the bouquet of flowers.
At least it's going to a lady. Both just talking. Just go towards that way. It's the last one, I think.
Thank you, everybody. That concludes the AGM part of today's meeting. There'll now be a recess for 30 minutes to allow guests to depart before we proceed with the next item on the agenda. Refreshments are available to members downstairs in the training area where we had lunch. Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely to see you again.